Hi, and welcome back to the Northern Kentucky Spotlight podcast. Today, we are talking to Ashley Glass of Black Women Cultivating Change, and she has a very important message about mental health. Before we get to the meat of the episode, let's thank our sponsors. CBG, our title sponsor, C Crew Consulting, our digital sponsor, and our episode sponsors, Horan and Heartland Bank. There are also two things I want to highlight from our most recent business journal that can now be read online. The first of those is a letter from Garen Colvin, our new NKY Chamber Board Chair. He has a really great quote in that letter, and if you remember from our episode with Brent Cooper, we have our most diverse board in history. Garen Colvin said, "We must have a group that represents everyone within our community in order to achieve the vision for what we aspire to be as a business community." Also online, we have a letter from Stacy Strotman, Chair of Leadership Northern Kentucky. She says, "If you let it, Leadership Northern Kentucky will change you, and then you will change the region." I think those are both really wonderful quotes that really highlight what our boards and our leadership is trying to do for us in the upcoming year. So I would love for you guys to check those out. If you can find them at northernkentuckychamber.com under our newsletter. And that is great. I cannot wait for you guys to talk to Ashley Glass. She will be with us here shortly, but first let's hear from our sponsors.
CVG Airport is the lowest fare airport in the tri-state region with 54 nonstop flights and direct international service to 7 destinations, including Paris, France, and now home to both DHL's and Amazon's global cargo hubs. The airport is furthering its position as leader in aviation and is deeply committed to being an economic driver for the community. You can learn more and start your next adventure at cvgairport.com.
Ranking on Google Search and Maps is easy to understand, but hard to do. It requires constant effort and attention, uploading new photos, responding to Google reviews, writing weekly posts, and checking suggested updates. Google listing optimization takes experience and time, and there are no shortcuts. C Crew gives your Google My Business account the steady, consistent attention it needs to be effective, optimizing, updating, and expanding critical content every single week. From local retail stores to large regional networks, C Crew generates content, establishes benchmarks, and creates dramatic, measurable increases in engagement. So what can C Crew do for your business? More calls, more clicks, more clients.
Hi, and welcome back to the Northern Kentucky Spotlight. I am here with Ashley Glass, and she is the founder of Black Women Cultivating Change. Hi, Ashley. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
Thank
you for having me on.
Great. Yes, thank you for joining us. So just to get started, can you tell me a little bit about your organization and why you started it?
Sure. So my organization is called Black Women Cultivating Change. And our main goal is to educate and advocate and spread awareness, and also provide platforms for eliminating stigmas in mental health in Black women. We also hold community workshops. And then recently we've had a project of doing a documentary, but we really want to just focus on spreading information on mental health because there's a huge stigma, especially in the Black community. So.
Right. Of course. Of course. So what are some of the things you mentioned you guys do workshops in your documentary? Can you kind of touch on the documentary bit?
Sure. So the documentary is called BOSS, and that stands for Bravely Overcoming Self-Sabotage. And it's not just an issue in Black women, but also issue in men, women of all nationalities, that sort of thing. But it is self-doubting and self-sabotaging behavior. So you'll have the experience, you'll have the degree, and whatever the case may be, but you still have a kind of sort of a self-doubt and kind of limit yourself from really living out your life's purpose or goals.
A lot of times we call that imposter syndrome.
Yes.
I mentioned that as well.
Yep.
Is there a reason why you wanted to focus on this with your organization?
Yes, because since my organization focuses on mental health, I wanted to highlight a mental health issue first. So that's kind of how I came up with imposter syndrome. I've even dealt with imposter syndrome and still work through it with, career-wise, even being a mom. I'm a single mom of 3. So just thinking I'm not being a good enough mom, that sort of thing. Or it could even be with friends, family. So it's just, I thought it was a good topic to bring up to kind of spread awareness and let people know that you're not the only one going through that and you can work through it.
Right. And then when you think about looking towards the future, what are some of the goals that you have set for your organization? Like, what's a success story that you could look for 6 months to a year in the future?
Okay, let's say 6 months from now, I really want to increase the funding. I just started my organization last year, so I'm really looking to find grant funding as well as private donors. I just put in an application to kind of do a pitch contest to kind of get some funding to really be able to give my organization the marketing it needs, as well as just kind of smooth and make things more professional as far as my website and social media and that sort of thing. A year from now, I hope to be able to actually have a team. So right now I'm a one-woman show, but I hope to be able to have staff to kind of help me with this mission and vision and be able to really impact as many lives as we can.
Right. And what are your next steps for that? I know you mentioned the pitching and getting funding. Is there anything that, you know, if we have chamber members that want to get involved, want to help you out, how can they help you? How can the chamber help you?
So always volunteer work too. So like when I have my workshops, if anybody has a passion for mental health or has their own story or just wants to, if they can support, maybe be a sponsor to any of our events, that would be amazing. And also as far as the documentary piece, I will be doing kind of like a crowdfunding too, because I want to continue spreading awareness through that visual example. A lot of times we see data and statistics and that sort of thing, but when you can put an actual visual to what people are experiencing, I think it helps people understand what barriers are out there for individuals. So
right, of course. And then how can people see your documentary?
So we are releasing it to the public on October 21st, and it will be at 7 p.m. It's going to be through the Cincinnati World Theater, which is housed in the Garfield Theater. It's downtown Cincinnati. So we will be releasing it there in person, or there's an online option, virtual option as well. So you can just purchase a ticket and be able to stream it from home as well too, because we know with COVID and everything, not everyone is comfortable being around other people.
Right. And we do Zoom for these, so totally understandable. I don't really have very many questions left for you, but I do want to ask you one. So if there is someone maybe watching this podcast and they are struggling with some of these mental health issues, whether it be imposter syndrome and self-doubt, what is something that you would like to tell them, or something that they can do for themselves to maybe make themselves feel better, or make themselves feel more confident?
First things first, know that you're not alone, and know that you are capable. What I've used personally are words of affirmation. So just when you wake up in the morning, write out statements that encourage yourself. Anytime you get a self-doubting thought or negative thought, just kind of write out the opposite, encourage yourself so that you're giving that positive reinforcement to yourself, as well as I am a big component of therapy too as well. If you don't have a therapist, maybe think about either joining a therapy group because they have group sessions, or have an individual therapist. Therapy is not only for when you're going through bad stuff. Therapy is also when you're going through good stuff. It's just a good way to have a sounding board to kind of talk about what you're experiencing and ultimately what's going on inside of your head, so that you can get it out and kind of navigate through those feelings and emotions. So I want to give you words of encouragement and know that you can do you can really do whatever you set apart to do. So write down your goals, and just be adamant about what you want to do, and people will see your passion and that sort of thing.
Right. And that is awesome advice. I hope somebody watching this takes that away and makes them feel good inside. I know that I am a big proponent of therapy as well, and talking through your problems and talking through your successes. So Ashley, I want to thank you so much for joining us. I am looking forward to seeing the documentary when it comes out, and I'm sure so many of our members will want to see that now that they know about it. So thank you again so much, and I can't wait to talk to you again soon.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thanks.
Hi, I'm Shannon Schumacher, Account Executive, Kentucky Market Leader. At Haran, we champion bold innovation to help employers and individuals thrive. As an industry thought leader, we explore new horizons in healthcare, benefits, employee engagement, and wellness. We work harder to deliver all the strategic benefits, planning, and execution you expect from a true partner. And we do it with laser focus on your short and long-term outcomes to help manage your benefits while improving your employee experience.
So Heartland is celebrating its 110th anniversary this year. Recently, we partnered with the Kinkle family and the Fisher family in northern Kentucky, Boone, Kenton, and Campbell counties. And we have 3 offices there to serve the northern Kentucky region. Just remember, when the economy heats up, come see us at Heartland Bank, where banking really feels good.
Come on over to Heartland, where banking feels good.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that conversation with Ashley Glass of Black Women Cultivating Change. And I hope you all get a chance to check out her documentary, Boss, or hear from her at the upcoming Women's Initiative Regional Summit on October 20th. Thanks again to our sponsors, CVG, our title sponsor, C Crew Consulting, our digital sponsor, and our episode sponsors, Haran and Heartland Bank. If you're a member who would like to be featured on the podcast, or if you're a listener and you are not a member and you would like to become a member of the Northern Kentucky Chamber of Commerce, please reach out to Lynn Ablin. You can find her contact information on our staff directory at nkychamber.com, and she will get you ready with everything that you need. Thanks again for listening today, and we will see you guys next Monday.